Namaste everyone, my name is Ryan and I'm here in this beautiful space at Yoga Cave at Mount Waverly. Welcome to the Movember Yoga and Mindfulness Workshop, and thank you for giving us 60 minutes of your time on a Sunday afternoon. At the end of 2019, I made a decision that I'm going to go full-time into teaching yoga and mindfulness. And I said to myself that 2020 is going to be my year. I started the year with a lot of excitement and butterflies in my stomach. You know, the kind you get when you're going to go on a much anticipated date or you walk into office for a job interview. But I didn't know life had COVID plans. And 2020 has been a year of monumental hurdles and challenges. As we all know, COVID's upended normality and impacted a lot of people around the world. Closer to home, it has had an impact on our mental health through social isolation or job insecurity, job losses, relationship breakdowns, stress and anxiety. For me personally, by March, I found that all the yoga studios had closed and the dream of becoming a yoga teacher didn't seem that great at that time. But there's one thing that has really helped me over the last 6 or 7 months, and that's been my yoga and mindfulness practice. And today is all about sharing that with you. Before we get started, a couple of things I wanted to address, given that it's a workshop for men. Thousands of years ago, when yoga was taught in India, all the students were men. So the roots of yoga and the growth of yoga as a practice is by men, for men. However, when you look at the modern media, all we see is thin, statuesque people with their leg wrapped around their head. And I'm not surprised that people have started to think that you need to be flexible in order to do yoga. That is really far from the truth. Yoga is for everyone, whether you're tall or you're short, whether you're thick or thin, and whether you're young or old. Yoga is meant to adapt to your body, not the other way around. The main benefit of yoga is that it stretches our ligaments, our tendons, our fascia, and it also improves our balance. I personally don't think you need to be flexible to get the benefits of yoga. But today is all about raising awareness around men's health. And the reason is because suffering in silence costs life. So there's a couple of statistics that I came across the other day that's released by the Australian government. We as men die younger on an average than women. So our life expectancy is 79 compared to 85 for women. Men are more likely to die by cancer than women, particularly bowel cancer, lung cancer and liver cancer. More than 90% of workplace accidents and deaths are men. And 7 of 9 daily suicides in Australia are men, which is more than 75%. And there are no quick solutions to a men's mental health crisis, but there are things we can all do to look after our own emotional well-being and our overall mental health. And especially in difficult times, if you ask me, in each and every time, all the time, yoga and mindfulness is a very effective outlet for us men to specially look after our own mental health. So in today's practice, we'll start with a seated centering exercise where we'll bring our attention to our breath. And from there, we'll just do a very basic yoga sequence, a beginner yoga sequence. And then towards the end, I'll go through a couple of breathing exercises with you. And then we'll close with a visualization meditation that I've written for you today. So when you're ready, please come into a seated position. So you could be seated cross-legged. And if this is really hard on the glutes or the hamstrings, there is the option to extend your legs towards the front. So taking the option that works best for your body. And wherever you are, letting the hands come to rest on the knees, closing the eyes, and then letting the shoulders drop away from the ears. Taking a few centering breaths to arrive. Bring the attention to our jaw and relaxing, letting your jaw drop. Shoulders relax as they peel away from the ears. And noticing your feelings, noticing what arises. An invitation to observe what arises like a bystander without getting involved in the feeling. And then taking your middle and index finger and placing it on your heart. And then thinking of things that bring joy and happiness. It is impossible to be sad or angry or embarrassed when we think of the things that bring joy and happiness to us. This could be a person, could be an emotion, or could be a thing. Continuing to picture whatever it is that brings joy to you. Returning the hand back to the knee. Bring the hands to heart center. If you close your eyes, opening your eyes, we'll interlace the fingers and then turn the palm towards the front as we stretch our arms, straightening the elbows, rounding the upper back. And on the inhale, we'll lift the hand towards the sky. Staying here for an exhale. Then on the inhale, reaching forward again, rounding the upper back, bring the chin as close to the chest as possible. Inhale, hands reach towards the sky. And we round the upper back as the hands reach for the front. We'll do this 2 more times, rounding the upper back. Stretching towards the sky. One last time. From here, we'll bring our left hand on top of our right knee. Right hand reaches behind us as we place the fingertips on the ground. As we twist to the right hand side. So So we're only going at 60 to 70% of the twist. It's early in the practice. Or we come back to center and swap. Right hand, left palm, left hand goes back as we twist to the left hand side. Two more breaths. We'll come back to center. We come onto all fours. So our wrists come below our shoulders and our knees below our hips. So with the toes, you can take your option. You can tuck your toes or you can keep them untucked. Again, listening to your body and doing what the body allows. So on the inhale, opening the heart, belly dips towards the ground. On the exhale, drawing your lower belly in as we round the upper back. Inhale, heart opens, tailbone rises towards the sky. Exhale, bring the chin to the chest. Doing this 5 more times to the rhythm of your own breath. See, you could be half a second ahead of me or half a second behind, and that is okay. We're just connecting our breath to our movement as we warm up the spine. One last time. Our meet in flat back. From here, rocking back and forth a few times. We spend a lot of time on our keyboards, so just warming up the wrists. If it feels better, invitation to move your upper body in a circle, clockwise or anti-clockwise. And now taking whichever movements work for you. And we meet in stillness as we aim for a flat back. Then from here, left leg will lift and the right hand reaches towards the front. As if you're trying to shake someone's hand without eye contact. Gaze at one spot on the mat. We're just balancing our spine as we extend in opposite directions with our left leg and the right arm. The toes of the left leg point towards the floor, so the hips are square. So you're not like trying to lift it too high off the mat. We'll return the knee down, hand comes down, and then the other leg. Right leg flies, left leg reaches for the front. So the crown of the head reaching towards the front of the mat. We stay here for 3 more breaths. Returning the left palm to the mat, right knee comes down. And we walk our hands one palm length forward. We really spread the fingers wide, digging the finger knuckles into the mat. And then we'll tuck our toes and we'll raise our hips towards the sky in a down dog. So thinking of an inverse V shape with your body. And then you can play with your down dog here. You can either place your heels on the mat, straightening your knees. The other option you have here is to bend your knees and lift your heels off the mat, which is what I prefer. And then as the palms really plug into the mat, we can push our chest towards our thighs. And now bringing attention to your jaw. If it's clenched, relaxing, softening the jaw. As we release the tongue away from the roof of the mouth. Invitation to pedal your feet to what I call walking your dog. And we meet in a brief moment of stillness as we walk our feet all the way to our hands, slowly, mindfully. And then as our head hangs heavy, we'll grab onto the opposite elbows and let the head dangle forward, feel heavy. And then you have an option here to either stay still or sway your head from side to side. Option to nod yes and no. We'll release the elbows as the hands hang heavy and slowly, one vertebra at a time, we'll rise up. Again, being mindful of our breath. And as we come up, we give the shoulders a big backwards roll and the palms will face the front. Shoulders peel away from the ears. It's called Tadasana, mountain pose. Grounding down from all corners of your feet. Chin is parallel to the floor. Eyes can be open or closed. We'll stay here for 5 more breaths. One last breath. If your eyes are closed, opening them softly, and the hands will reach towards the sky on the inhale. And on the exhale, hands come to heart center as we fall forward all the way down to the mat. Hands come down on the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. So hands on our shins, we aim for a flat back. Exhale, fall forward. You can bend your knees generously. And on the inhale, rising up again as the hands reach for the sky. This time, right hand grabs hold of the left wrist. As you come into a side bend, on the right hand side, stretching our oblique muscles, our side body. Standing half moon. We come back to center as we swap. Left hand, right wrist, and we bend to the left hand side. Coming back to center, hands come to heart center, thumbs press against the sternum, and we lift our left leg and we place it back. So both knees are straight here, so you can either take a long stance or a short stance depending on what works best for you. So knees will remain straight. We'll stay here for a breath and inhale and exhale. And then on the next inhale, we'll lean forward with our torso, coming into pyramid pose. And then again, you have a few options to play with over here. You can bring your hands or fingertips all the way down to the mat and lift your back heel slightly off the mat to give you more length in your hamstrings. If you got really tight hamstrings like I do, it's best to lift your heel off the mat. One more breath. And then we'll rise up. Hands come to heart center. Back to standing pyramid. We'll then bend our right knee and bring our left leg next to the right. On the inhale, hands will go towards the sky. On the exhale, hands come to heart center as we fold forward. This time, we'll take the right foot back. Then we take the left foot back. So this is our high plank. So making sure that the hips are not sagging, we'll lift our hip up away from the mat, and our shoulders are above our wrists, and the heels are pushing towards the back of the mat. We'll draw the lower belly in, and we engage our glutes and our quads. There is an option here to drop your knees onto the mat as well. So coming into supported plank, listening to your body. And if you're in a high plank, let's all drop our knees down. We'll untuck the toes first. And then we let our shoulders go past the wrists as we bend our elbows and come all the way down onto the mat. Belly, chest, chin, forehead. On the inhale, we'll lift our forehead into a cobra. On the exhale, we'll return the forehead back to the mat. And from here, we'll come into child's pose. So big toes touch. Knees can be as wide as they can go, ideally as wide as the mat. And we push our buttocks towards our heels and letting the forehead come onto the mat. And if the forehead's not coming onto the mat today, we'll make a cushion for our forehead, stacking one fist on top of another. And from child's pose, we extend our hands forward again, coming back into all fours, tucking our toes, and then moving back into a down dog. Again, 3 more breaths in down dog.
We walk our feet all the way to our hands again. And this time, once again, slowly uncurling your vertebra, one at a time. As the hands reach for the sky. And on the exhale, hands come to heart center. This time we'll do pyramid on the other side. So we'll drop the right leg back. So both knees are straight. And again, what you learn from the other side, you may want a shorter or longer stance. And from here, we'll lean forward on the inhale as a torso, the heart and the head reaching towards the front of the mat. Then from here, you have two options. You can choose to bring your fingertips down to the mat. And if you want more length, lifting the heel off the mat. And if after lifting the heel, hamstrings still feel tight, you can walk your foot in slightly, the back foot. So doing what works for you best. Two more breaths. And hands come to heart center as we come up. Straightening the spine, and we will walk the right foot in next to the left. On the inhale, hands will go towards the sky. On the exhale, hands come to heart center as we lower all the way down to the ground with a generous bend in the knees. Hands frame the feet. Right foot steps back, left foot steps back. Option either a high plank or a supported plank with the knees on the mat. We'll stay here just for 3 more breaths. And if your knees are off the mat, bring your knees down, untucking the toes and letting the shoulders go past the wrists as we bend our elbows and come all the way down. Inhale, lift into a cobra. Exhale, return the forehead to the mat. Again, coming up and then moving into a child's pose, big toes touch. Knees as wide as you wish to, and letting the forehead melt into the mat. We'll rise up, coming into all fours, tucking our toes, and then lifting our hips towards the sky into a down dog. Let's walk our feet again all the way to our hands this time. On the inhale, halfway lift, hand comes on the shin. Exhale, we fall forward again. Inhale, rising up. Hands go all the way towards the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. We'll go into a low lunge from here. So we'll bring our hands all the way down, or we'll step our left foot all the way back. First into runner's lunge, as if you're about to take off for a race. Then we'll drop the left knee on the mat, untuck the toes, and the hands reach towards the sky into low lunge. So, aiming for a straight spine, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 1 Right knee is above the right ankle. And then bringing attention to the sensations in the right glute and the left hip. Staying here for 3 more breaths. Left hand grabs hold of the right wrist as we come into a side bend on the left hand side. Just the way we did earlier while we're standing upright. We'll come back to center and then side bend to the right hand side. Stretching the side body. Coming back to center. We'll bring the left palm down as the right hand stays up. We'll turn the right palm to the side and take a gaze towards the fingers of the top hand into an easy twist. Not that the twist is easy, we just tend to call this pose an easy twist. We'll tuck the toes of the back foot. I will take the left knee off the mat as well. Again, it's an option. If you feel you're better off with your knee on the mat, please take that option. Right hand will come down as we come back into runner's lunge. I will step the left foot forward to meet the right. On the inhale, halfway lift. And on the exhale, we'll fold forward. Let's inhale as we come all the way up. Hands reach for the sky. And on the exhale, hands to heart center. One more time, hands reach for the sky. And on the exhale, hands to heart center as we fold forward. This time the right foot will step back. So we come into runner's lunge on this side. Gaze straight ahead and fingertips on the mat. We'll lower the right knee down. We'll untuck the toes as the hands reach for the sky. Low lunge. Again, aiming for a straight spine. Left knee above the left ankle. So we're stacking our joints. And then really reaching with the fingertips towards the ceiling, engaging our side body. Two more breaths. This time, right hand grabs hold of the left wrist as you come into a side bend on the right hand side. We'll come back to center and we come into a bend on the left hand side. Coming back to center, left hand stays up, right hand comes down into an easy twist. Again, gaze towards the fingertips of your left hand. If the neck is not happy, taking the gaze to the side. And then tucking the toes of the back foot and lifting the right knee off the mat. Stay here for 2 more breaths. Left hand comes down, as we look straight ahead in a runner's lunge. I will step the right foot to meet the left at the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, we'll fold forward. This time we'll step back into high plank. Right foot steps back, left foot steps back. And then dropping both knees to the mat, coming into all fours. So our knees are below our hips, wrists below our shoulders. We cross the ankles. We'll push back into a seat and we'll extend the legs to the front. On the inhale, hands go towards the sky. And on the exhale, we'll fall forward. And we'll grab hold of what's accessible. So whether it's the knees or the shin or ankles or the feet. And if you like more length, invitation to bend your knees as well. And you can bend your knees as much as you want. Paschimottanasana, seated forward fold. Two more breaths here. And then gently straightening our spine, straightening our legs. Or bring the soles of the feet to touch, coming into a seated Baddha Konasana or seated bound angle triangle, seated bound angle pose. We'll wrap our hands around our feet. And then option to stay upright or to just fold forward. Again, leaning as forward as the body allows you to go. And then gently straightening the spine, coming back up. As we bend our knees, placing our feet on the mat, using our hands to support us, and coming to lie down onto the mat. We'll hug both knees into the chest. And with our knees bent, we'll place our feet on the mat. We're preparing for bridge pose, so we want to bring our heels as close to our hips as possible. So see if you can brush the back of your heels with your fingertips. And if you can't, it's fine. That means your body just wants to go that much further away from the hips, and that's fine. Just bring it as close as possible. We'll place the palms on the mat, forearms on the mat. And on the inhale, scooping the tailbone under, we'll raise our pelvis towards the ceiling. Making sure that the chin is away from the chest. We don't want any pressure on the cervical spine. Yoga is meant to nourish the body, not hurt our joints and ligaments. And then coming down slowly, one vertebra at a time, avoiding any dumping in our lower back. We'll stay here for one more breath. And again, once more, on the next inhale, we'll lift our pelvis towards the sky. Coming back all the way down. But then hugging both knees again into the chest. Rocking from side to side, if that feels good. We'll hold on to our left knee and we'll extend the right leg all the way onto the mat. Right palm guides the left knee to the right hand side, into a twist. Left hand extends, and again and if your left knee is like mine, doesn't reach the ground, that's okay. Just going close to your edge and just staying there. We'll come back to center. We'll hug both knees into the chest. Hold on to the right knee, extend the left leg all the way down to the mat. And the left palm guides the right knee into a twist to the left hand side. Right hand extends, breathing into the side body, noticing the sensations in the glutes, the hamstrings and the quads. Come back to center, hugging both knees into the chest. And then in your own time, in your own way, making your way up into a seat. So we've completed the movement part of the sequence. I'd just like to share a couple of breathing exercises with you, which I find have been very helpful for me personally, for stress management and for just relaxing me. So the first one is what Wim Hof likes to call box breathing. So with both the breathing exercises, making sure we just relax, the shoulders are relaxed, the jaws are relaxed. So we'll inhale for the count of 4, 2, 3, 4, hold, and exhale for the count of 4, 2, 3, 4, hold. Inhale, fill the belly up, 2, 3, 4, hold. Exhale for the count of 4, 2, 3, 4, hold. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. So continuing to breathe at your own pace and counting the breath. So the belly fills up to the count of 4 and the belly deflates to the count of 4. And then from 4, increasing it to the count of 5. So inhaling for 5 now. Holding at the top and exhaling for 5. One last breath. And softly opening our eyes. And the other breathing technique that I like is alternate nostril breathing or Nadi Shodhana. So our nostrils alternate. So every 60 to 90 minutes, one nostril takes over and the other one stops. So with alternate nostril breathing, you're getting both the nostrils to pump oxygen into the body, which is good for cardiovascular relaxation and also good for our lung capacity. So we'll bring the index and the middle finger to the middle of our forehead of our right hand. We close the right nostril with the thumb. Inhale from the left. And then close the left nostril with our ring finger and exhale from the right. We'll inhale from the right, closing the right, exhaling from the left. Inhale left, close, exhale right. Inhale right, close, exhale left. So continuing at your own pace with your own breath for a few more rounds. I will keep time for you. We'll finish on the left hand side. Again at your own pace. And when you're finished, coming into an easy seat. So I've written a visualization meditation for today. So we'll spend the last bit of the practice visualizing this particular scene. So again, closing our eyes, relaxing the shoulders, the jaw, and just taking a few inhales and exhales. And as we inhale and exhale, we begin to let go of any tension and relax our body. And as you take deep breaths in and exhale, feel the body becoming more relaxed. Just letting go of everything that holds us back. Notice with each breath how you can relax. And as you continue to relax further, begin to create the following picture in your mind. Imagine that you're near the ocean and it's just before sunrise. The ocean is very calm. Most of the water looks very smooth, but you can see small ripples where gentle, peaceful waves roll in towards the shore. Taking a few moments to imagine this scene. Picture all the details of this relaxing place. The sun has not yet risen, but the sky is just starting to get light. The air is cool, comfortable, and pleasant. And as you feel the sunshine on your skin, the temperature is very pleasant. It's a calm and comfortable morning. Imagine the feel of a slight gentle breeze on your skin. The breeze blows just enough to move the palm trees gently back and forth. The leaves of the trees make a dark silhouette against the gradually lightening sky. Now breathe in the smell of fresh air, the smell of clean water and sand. Picturing this refreshing scent in your mind. Picture in your mind the sound of the water lapping against the shore. The sea is calm, the waves are quiet, but you can hear them as they move gently and calmly. And you're the only one here. This is a calm, safe, pleasant place. And you're relaxing near the gentle ocean. Notice that the sun is starting to rise. You can see a spot of light at the horizon, as if the sun is rising out of the water. See the light growing as the sun begins to rise above the horizon. Small streaks of light shine into the sky as the sky grows lighter and lighter with the growing dawn. Notice the peaceful waves gently lapping at the shore, washing gently into the sand. Watch the peaceful waves flowing like your breath, in and out, in and out. Continuing to observe the rhythm of the peaceful waves as they flow with the rhythm of your breath. And as you relax, you can enjoy the beautiful sunrise. Pink and orange give everything around you a warm glow. The sun has risen above the horizon, but it's still low in the sky. The breeze, the warm early sunlight, the gently lapping peaceful waves, and the softly moving palm leaves All of this create a calm and peaceful place for you. Noticing as the early rays of the sun reflect of the surface of the ocean, birds are waking up, noticing the chirping of the birds, staying here for a few breaths, enjoying the scenery, enjoying the moment. Then very gently, mindfully, bring your attention back to the room that you're in, becoming aware of your surroundings. Bring your hands to heart center as the thumbs press against the sternum. And then thinking of 3 things that you're grateful for in your life. For me, I'm grateful for my beautiful family, my lovely wife and my children. I'm grateful for the opportunity to practice with you today. And I'm grateful for knowing Thomas and Sherlyn, the beautiful owners of Yoga Cave, who have organized this workshop today and given me the opportunity to work with them. We'll bring the thumbs to the third eye center, to our lips, and to our heart. In honor of our practice, we'll bow to each other and say Namaste. Namaste. Thank you, yogis. Thank you for your company.